How's it going? Welcome back to Carolina Model Shop. And I had a subscriber ask me, I take it that they're just now getting into building scale models, picked up a couple models, but don't know about what kind of tools and stuff like that. Different airbrushes. And they asked me if I would do a video showing some of the basic stuff that I think a modeler would need. Now, not saying that you need all of this stuff, but I just gotta. I mean, it's just a portion of the stuff that I use, and most all the other people that do models use. And there's some stuff they use differently, like they use different glue than I use, different tape, different paints, but they're all using the same type stuff. So I'm just going to go through some of this stuff here. That way you can get an idea. And I'm going to put a link in the description of this video to there's a kit, a 33-piece tool kit for building models on Amazon. I bought one myself. It's $21.99 and it's 33 pieces, and basically has sanding files, a hobby knife, a hobby ruler, sandpaper, a pin vise, drill bits, files, tweezers, sprue cutters, a battery operated rotary tool, just different, 33 different pieces, but a lot of it's your essential basic tools that you need to build models with. So I'm just going to go over some of this stuff so you can, what I got here so you can see, which I mean, most of y'all can see what I got and you know what it is, but I'm just going to go through and show you what I use. So we'll start with, what do you want to start with? Let's start with the glue. So the glue that I use primarily, most all exclusively, when it comes to model glue, is I like the Tamiya cement. I just like that they make this and it's a little heavier, and then they make it into a thin. I never really had. If I'm gonna use something thin and I need something, a lot of times you need to run capillary action to run a seam or something. Then I'll just use this right here. And if I want to weld something together, I'll use this. I've always liked that. Another glue that I use, and I use it quite a lot, especially on parts that's hard to glue on, like sometimes suspension parts or front bumpers and back bumpers. They want to be a pain in the butt, and they don't want to stick on good. I like this right here. It's Loctite 401 instant adhesion. Just be careful with this Loctite right here, because when it says instant adhesive, it's instant, and it adhesives whatever you stick it to. So yeah, and then I use the tried and true window glue, for gluing in your windshields and back glasses and side glasses. And then we'll just go along. I have sprue cutters, just regular old, sprue cutter. I have several different types. I have this kind right here. I have another pair right here, which I've had a long time. So that's that. And then you have hobby knives. The two basic hobby knives I use is I use a smaller one, which is a number 11 blade, like this, right there. And then I use this one, I think, which is a number 2 blade. And plus, then you need refills for them. And then you got Tamiya putty. That's for filling seams. I like that. You can use any kind of putty you want. Some people use regular stuff for cars, but I just find this to dry fast. It's light. It sands easy, and I like it. So, that's why I use it. The other thing you're going to need is you're going to need something to be able to see up close, especially if you've got old eyes like I do. And I have this magnifying glass that I've had a very long time that I use sometimes. But what I really like to use is these right here. These they're just, you know, you just put them on like a pair of glasses. You got your, they have different strengths. It comes with a box of different lenses for different strengths. And it's even got a light on there. Yeah, it's kind of bright. So yeah, so that's a nice little headset. And I got too much stuff in a little bit of area and trying to work around this camera. Stay. Okay. And we'll just talk about those. And then of course you're going to need some masking tape. And usually what I use is this green automotive 3M tape. Especially if I'm masking on paint or fresh paint, because it doesn't pull on the paint. And then I have some regular masking tape like this. It's performance tapes, and you know, if I need a wider spot or whatever, mostly I use this for putting on the top of my empty paint can so I can stick parts to it to paint them. So some other things you might need is some toothpicks. I like these. These are actually for you doing nails, but I'm gonna get one out. I want to show you why I like it. Come here. So yeah, this is a nail care sticks. They're cuticle sticks. They're kind of longer, but the reason why I like them is because on one end it has a point. You can do it. Come on now, I know you can do it. So on one end it has a point like that, and on the other end it has a 45. So that's why I like those. You find a lot of uses for that. And moving right along, of course, for painting and building and keeping your fingerprints off of your models. And everybody, you've heard it many times, when you watch what you're doing when you're working with your models, if you're using your hands, like eating food and stuff like that, because you transfer it to your model. And if you don't clean it good, you go to paint and stuff, and then you have a mess. But that's why you use a pair of these latex rubber gloves. I've got several boxes. These came something. I don't even know what they came in. And then you're going to need sanding sticks. So I have several different kinds. I got some that's more abrasive than others. This one's a finer one. It's actually a nail stick. It works beautiful. It's really fine on them sides. And then I like these smaller I don't know how, 1/8 inch I think they are. Sanding sticks. They work really well for tight spots and doing I use them a lot on that working on motors and seams and stuff. And then you're gonna need some different tweezers, and like that kit I was telling you about, Amazon sells. This is where these came from, and those are just a pointy pair and a flat pair. You need them for picking up things, or I use them mostly when I'm doing decals and stuff like that. And then you have just various these are my 3 main Sharpies I use. Well, two's a Sharpie. It's a silver Sharpie, a black Sharpie, and then this is a chrome Molotow, or Molotow, however you want to say it, liquid chrome pen. These are really nice. A lot of y'all use them, I know, but you know, new people don't know. And then I use, for different things, if I need something more aggressive, you got these files that come with that kit I was telling you about on Amazon. These are actually jeweler's files, but they work really well on plastic. So then you're gonna need, you know, when you're doing painting, detail painting, you need various paintbrushes, and these are my main paintbrushes that I use right here, and I'll show them to you. Okay. I don't know what happened, but you know, So anyway, so that was 250. So we were looking at the Badger, and there's a 250 and a 350, and I really don't know the difference between the two, but this gun is really inexpensive. Doesn't cost that much at all. $25, something like that, and it works really well. And that's what I've used forever. I've got 2 or 3 of them, but now I just started using this, and I really like it. And I don't do a lot of detail painting, so I don't need a fine airbrush. I do mostly all my detail paintings by hand. But this right here is what I'm starting to spray my bodies with, and using my primers and clear coats and base coats and stuff. And that's Apache H. So yeah, and I really like this airbrush. I mean, I've only used it a couple times, so I mean, you can't. I don't know. I don't know. But and then for detail painting, like painting interiors, motors, your small parts, I like still using the old tried and true Testors enamels. I have various colors here that I use. This right here is it's actually a bottle opener. It made for opening these bottles. I 3D printed that on my 3D printer, and it just fits right on the top of the bottle, and you squeeze it, and it opens them right up. So that, and then I use a couple of these Model Color and Model Air. I like this silver right here. I like that. Is it a steel color? It's done worn off. I've had it. So had these and they last a really long time. I mean, I've had these for a long time, and they just keep on getting it. So that's basically your basics. You don't need all of this stuff. Might be some different stuff you need. Just depends on what you're going to be doing. If you're starting off box stock building, this stuff right here gets you where you need to be. And if you're going to be using spray paints, you need to be careful of the spray paints you use, because some spray paints will eat plastic, especially lacquers. Some of the lacquers, so you need to make sure what you're doing. I use a lacquer-based spray paint, but I use Duplicolor if I'm spray painting, and I really not had a problem with it messing with the plastic, so I use only Duplicolor primer, and because I just like to, I've used it a lot. I like the way it sprays, the way it lays, and easy to sand and work with. So I'm sure there's probably some things that I'm missing. People in the comments can comment below and, tell me what I'm missing. But until the next time, this is Carolina Model Shop, and I'm out of here.